Moving on to a middleweight bout that had Ronaldo Souza, better known as Jacare, going against Chris Camozzi. Before we even get started, okay, if I was fighting, I'd be like, I want all my fights to be in Brazil. Okay? Okay? Because I'm going to tell you guys what. Here we go again. And George says he's going to slow his roll on this, but I'm not, because Jacare is fucking jacked to the gills. That guy's he could go to the NPC Nationals as a middleweight and probably place in the top 10. Okay? That's a huge bodybuilding, federation.
When that man took his shirt off, and I was like, "Oh, look, there's sandpaper all over him." I was like, "Look at that, grainy as
fucking grainy,
and peeled, and he's got lines in his body." I'm just like,
this is the thing.
And then you look at Chris Camozzi, and you're like, "Oh, you got covered in butter. You look like, wow,
yeah,
good luck."
People don't realize this. I mean, it's a lot, man. When you're training on drugs like that, man, your body just. The amount of lean body tissue you can spare and your body being so anti-catabolic, you're going to perform so much better. You're going to be so much more aggressive. I mean, your body's not falling apart.
Right. Now, this is the point I'm going to bring up. And you can just listen to me on this one. All of the folks out there want to go for a guy like Vitor, I'm jumping ahead just a little bit, is, okay, so he's on drugs. We all know he's on drugs. And you're saying that drugs don't make a better fighter. And that's fine. I agree with that. But here's what I want you to understand.
You want to fucking take them.
This is why you take them. You have a fighter who can train 15 hours a week just normally because he gets jiu-jitsu and striking and jiu-jitsu and wrestling, and your body gets beat the fuck up. Boop. Now your body doesn't get beat up as much, and now that 15 hours you just trained goes out to 20, 22, 24, and it doesn't take you as long to recover. So that's where drugs play the biggest part, especially with testosterone. Right. It allows you to recover so much quicker. So, yes, it doesn't make you a better fighter, but what it allows you to do is put more hours in the gym to become a better fighter. Well, if somebody like Chris Camozzi and Luke Rockhold can only train 20 hours a week, and they're younger than both their opponents, but their bodies get beat up, and these older guys are allowed to train longer, and they're bigger and they're stronger, like, I don't understand why you people don't understand that. Like,
yeah, I mean, if the bottom line is, it's just anybody who's done any type of athletics at a competitive level, you know that when you overtrain, your body everything breaks down.
Yes.
You fucking get the runs, you feel like shit, you feel like you got the flu, you're just tired as balls. And when you're on juice, if you're taking juice, and let me tell you something, it's the juice and the GH combination. I mean, they don't even have a test for GH. I mean, they do, but you literally would take the GH and you have to go they'd have to call you up, take your blood, probably within 2 or 3 hours of taking your injection to bust you for GH, So they're taking the fucking GH, you know what I mean? And it makes you heal and recover so much faster, like George said, that it's a fucking huge advantage if you're fighting a guy that does not have it.
It's like, seriously, it'd be like getting in a fist fight with Wolverine.
Right.
Seriously, the comic book character, dude. You're going to fucking stick him. You're going to hit him with everything you got. He's going to and come right back.
Anyway.
So now on the Jacare. Okay, when we said the previous show, we weren't giving Jacare any credit for his stand-up, because he's got one TKO win. Because he doesn't need to. Because as you saw, he clipped Camozzi and then jumped on top of him.
And submitted him. Yeah.
I mean,
his ground game is just phenomenal.
Right. And his stand-up is getting better. But here's the other thing. When you're not worried about the guy across from you's power because you think you can run through a brick wall for whatever reason.
Right.
And that was it. You could see that. Jacare had no respect for Camozzi. He ran right across. He came right across the ring, pressed the shit out of him, clipped him, got him up against the cage. The next thing you know, they're rolling around and Camozzi's snoring.
Yeah. I mean, to give Jacare some credit, because obviously he was an improved fighter. I mean, and George and I will say this: even the guys, when they're taking TRT, and it's very apparent that they're taking the TRT, when we see their skill set improve, we're gonna say, okay, that's great, their skill set improved. Jacare did his skill set improve. Yes, his stand-up game was improved enough to be able to clip Camozzi, like George said, and create an opportunity for him to eventually submit him. So.
But you have
hats off to Jacare.
But you have to go back and look at why is Jacare able to get better? Because he's able to train more and longer and more often to become better at stand-up, to improve his already, as the MMA
compared
world
to
says.
Who he might be going up against in the octagon.
Right, and they said Jacare's MMA ground game is the best, period, hands down. They're saying he's the best grappler ever right now in the UFC.
Right.
I'm not going to argue with that because he's strong as fuck.
Right.
He just.
I mean, you just look at him.
I would love to see him and Vitor fight.
And one of the things that's apparent too is just growing up in that, you know, the cultish bodybuilding community. It's like you can look at a physique, and when you can look at it, sit there and analyze the physique from head to toe, and it's complete, and the skin is dry and grainy, and the muscles are full. You just don't accomplish that naturally. You know, you just don't. I mean, I saw guys that had great genetics growing up. I saw guys that are fucking strong as fuck, you know, but they just did not have that look unless they were hitting gear.